This is the Cafe Racer Podcast, episode 94 for July 17th, 2016. I'm Crash.
And I'm Jess.
So, how's it going?
It's going well.
Yeah, we're doing an episode without Steve again because Steve is on the first ride up the divide. Um, Spencer's been posting a lot of pictures on Instagram that you probably haven't seen, but
No, I haven't.
no.
I saw a recent picture though today of the gang
Oh, cool.
on Facebook.
Um, there's been definitely some surprise mishaps. I don't really want to like talk about it too much because I want to talk to Steve again. Like he and I just kind of talked really briefly, and so like I don't want to ruin the spoil the story for everybody before he has a chance to kind of like weigh in. But yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Like he's Spencer's posted some really pretty pictures.
Have they posted any videos?
I don't think so. I'd have to check again, honestly.
Because
But
I want to see that.
yeah, you can also follow along with them. You have to just look up First Ride Up the Divide on pretty much any social media, and you can find them and kind of follow along. There's links to track their position on satellite too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think Chuck Brewer from the Wheel Nerds was trying to meet up with them. I don't know if he succeeded. I know that if you follow him on Facebook, you'll see that his Ural like that tried to eat itself. Um, the drive shaft where it connects to the rear to actually make the wheel turn
Mm-hmm.
took a big fat crap. So he was like stranded in someplace in Wyoming, I think. And there was a picture of him, like I guess he like has a scooter to ride around or
Oh,
something.
funny.
So yeah, that apparently happened. I hope they got a chance to meet up though. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's just us. We have we're still in the house. We haven't sold the house yet, which means we
We
don't have
are.
money to buy a new motorcycle yet,
Nope, not
or
yet.
even an old motorcycle. We have still been looking around and looking at possibilities.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, it's like every motorcycle under 500, like 500 cc's and under, made in the last 30 years is on the list, pretty
On the
much.
list. Kind of has to look a little cute.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
right. I could just today I sent you a link to a Suzuki TW250.
And that thing is adorable
Yeah, I mean
and looks like it would be perfect.
it's like a baby Bonneville.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's probably a few things like if we ended up getting you one, I'm willing to bet there's a few things I'll be like, oh, I like that better than my bike. Like the seat probably comes off in a really easy way.
Your
Maybe
seat comes off easily.
you have not been around motorcycles that long,
You're
though. Like,
right. I think your seat is easy because you're the only one that I've actually played with.
right, I am used to you put a key in and you turn
Mm-hmm.
it and the whole seat comes off.
A key?
Yeah, you
Like an
put the
Allen
you
wrench?
no, you put the motorcycle's key in a lock, you turn it
Oh,
and the seat pops off.
that sounds fancy.
It's
I
a
kind of like that you have to use tools to get your seat off.
well, I don't have to use tools anymore. Because I put wing nuts. I put the bolts in backwards through little
Right.
anchor nuts, so they just stick out the back of the seat. And then I put wing nuts on there, so I can now get it on and off without tools. It's still not quick.
No, but why would you need to quickly, anyways?
Well, there's a spot under the seat for your user manual to fit into.
Mm-hmm. But yours is not there right now.
It is actually back there now that I
Oh,
can get the seat on and off
oh.
without tools. The other
I've
thing
never
is,
noticed it.
no, the battery is under the seat. And I don't know if we talked about it last time we did a show, but I was at medical one day. You were there. I went to
Right.
medical and you left in the car with the kids. And I went to go get on my bike and leave. And I
It
had
didn't
left the ignition
start.
on. So the headlight had been on for like an hour and it wouldn't start. And I couldn't jump it because I couldn't get under the seat because I didn't have any of my tools. I usually have like the Allen wrench I need on me all the time.
But now you don't need tools.
Right.
When
Now
did you do this?
a few weeks ago when I was in that class, that load planner class,
Oh, when you went and bought
when I
those.
went to Ace. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she manages the money, so she's like, "What's this random purchase at Ace?" Yeah. So when I went to Ace is when I bought those little wing nuts. So now I can get the seat on and off in an
Uh-huh.
emergency if I have to. Uh, or if I get pulled over and need to show my registration because it's
Right,
in
because
there
it's under
now.
the seat.
Yeah, it's under there now. okay, so when I get pulled over, I need to show my registration.
Right, because it's inevitable.
Pretty much. Lane splitting laws or whatever, be damned. It's gonna happen.
Mhm.
The On that note, I've actually been able to ride for almost every day for the past 2 weeks, which has been a
Mhm.
big change.
It's been great. Get home quicker. You yeah,
I
you
do.
get home
It takes
quicker.
a lot less time to get home, especially. I'm on the day shift now, and I'm going with traffic, uh, so it's way nicer. I mean, even the ride in is nice, and
It
it
makes me jealous.
right, which we're going to try to rectify that.
Right.
The new plan is for you to go to the school first,
First.
before we even pick a bike, so that you can kind of get some kind of an idea of what it feels like to sit on a motorcycle, and maybe have the tiniest bit more of an educated buying decision.
I think probably not the tiniest bit, probably pretty substantial after like actually riding for a few
Yeah,
days on their little track and going slow and all those things that you told me about that you
yeah.
learn.
I still just doubt that it's really going to help you pick a motorcycle that much.
Okay, you're probably right.
I mean, you'll know how to ride. You'll know how to do all the things you need to get it in gear and moving and whatever.
Yeah, but I almost pretty much know all that already.
Right. And so the actual will you like a certain bike more than another as a result of the course? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. The the course is going to be on something like that Suzuki though, a little
Right.
250-ish motorcycle. There's rarely a motorcycle more than 250 cc's or 300 cc's at the course for you to use. I've seen Harley does a course at their dealerships that they used to use 500 cc Buell motorcycles. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Oh, those little mules, those little funky
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, I don't know if they even have that program anymore
Uh-huh.
because they don't make those bikes anymore. So I don't know what they called it, like the Rider's Edge program.
Have I ever told you my grandma used to work for Harley?
Yeah, I think so. What
Yeah.
did she do?
I have no idea. I should probably ask her. I should probably
No.
call her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an actual grandmother or a
This is
great grandmother
this is
or a great great grandmother?
this is just a grandmother.
Okay.
But she's married in, so she's like a what do you call step grandmother?
I don't know.
But she's just grandma. She's just Nana.
Okay.
She married my dad's dad,
Okay.
but didn't birth my dad.
Right. It's your dad's
Stepmom.
stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know what that
Out in
actually is.
let's see, Grand Island, Nebraska.
It's called Grand Island.
Grand Island.
It's Nebraska. Is there
There's
actually
a
an
Grand
island?
Island there.
Is there an island?
Well, if you're on the
Like,
Platte River, there's like little sand dunes you could probably call an island.
but there's not actually.
No.
That's Nebraska.
Yeah.
The N is for knowledge. Um, that's silly. Grand Island, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Should be called Grand Cornfield, Nebraska.
It should be. I had so much fun in those cornfields when I was young.
Yeah. I don't know if I've even ever been in the state of Nebraska, even driving through.
Oh, but you're not missing much, except for lots of pastures with yellow flowers and yellow corn. Well, I guess it's green.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. I've taken a few different routes across the country, and there's a couple of pockets of states I've never been into, and I think Nebraska is one of them.
How'd you
Missouri
get to
and
Utah? I mean, you go up and over. I know that.
Utah
Oh,
from where? I lived in
Oh,
Washington.
that's
I went
right.
down to Utah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Went from Washington to Idaho to Utah. And one time I came back through Oregon
Okay.
illegally. I was carrying a concealed firearm and didn't have a permit
Oh.
that applied in Oregon, but I was only in Oregon for a few hours. I remember getting pulled over in Idaho and going, because some states you're required to declare that you're concealing a firearm, in other states you're not. And I didn't know about Idaho. So I get pulled over. I was like, "Officer, is Idaho a state where you're supposed to declare that you have a firearm?" And I don't remember if he said yes or no, but I was like, "Because I do." And he's like, "Where's your registration?" Like right next to it. And he's like, okay, well, don't make any sudden moves, I guess. I was like, okay. So I got my registration out, got my ticket, continued on my trip.
Got your ticket.
Yeah, yeah. I've gotten a ticket on that. Like, both times I went through Idaho on my way to Utah, I got a ticket. Um, yeah. I've ridden every day to work. It's been really nice. It's allowed me to try that Revit jacket and those Revit pants out a lot, which has been really good. And I've gone back and forth like every day. I've alternated between my Dainese pants that I've had for a while that I like went up. I drove an hour and a half north and like plunked down my own money and bought with no discount or anything. Just was like, I want these pants. I want to buy them. So I bought them. And then I've got these Revit pants that I got a good discount on as like a media promotion thing. And I want everybody to be aware of the fact that I would not have bought them probably if they hadn't been like half off basically.
But seeing you in them now and how comfortable they are and how, trendy and great they look, I would have no problem with you buying a full priced pair.
Honestly, I agree. I like them more than my Dainese pants in some aspects. I really prefer the armor. I'm gonna take pictures and put them up on the website one of these years. I'll do it soon.
I'll take pictures.
But the knee armor in them is Revit's Sea Soft knee armor, which is a really thin level 1 knee armor that you can hardly feel when you're riding. So the armor that's in your Dainese jacket, the like silicone armor,
Yes.
and that's literally the same pads that are in my Dainese pants. Those are right; they're identical pads.
Okay.
That's those armor, my old pants. They're a little small. I feel like for my knee, like when I get on the bike, the way the pads lay on my knee, it feels like it's only barely covering my kneecap. And then since I washed both pants the other day, I pulled out the armor and I set them one on top of the other. And the Revit armor is considerably larger in terms of its overall footprint, and it feels nice. These are the slimmest pants that Revit sells. They have, if you're not into the skinny jeans thing at all, if you want nice relaxed pants, they make
These are not for you.
These are not for you. I'm pretty sure they're the Revit Seattle pants, which Seattle is like the second hipsterist city behind Portland. And so it kind of makes sense that they call them Seattle because they're like skinny and tight. But they make other jeans that are not that use that same armor, that are looser and more relaxed. So I really can't speak highly enough of that armor. That it's really nice. It feels good. You don't basically because you don't feel it at all. And the pants themselves are really comfortable. If you want skinnier pants, they will not go over boots. If you wear typical like taller motorcycle like touring boots, they will not go over the outside of them. End of story. You'd have to go inside, which that's fine, whatever. That doesn't matter to me. I have like short like low boots anyway that I wear most of the time. Yeah, there's a little bit of stretch in them. They're comfortable. They don't have the silly liner that my Dainese ones do, because my Dainese ones are like a cotton pant on top of a Kevlar based liner. The Revit pants are just Cordura denim with Kevlar woven in all throughout. If you're one of the people, if you're the level of hipster that cuffs your jeans, which I am not, but if you are, they have reflective material just inside, like the first 6 inches of the hem at the bottom. I mean, of the seam at the bottom. So if you cuff your jeans, there's a reflective stitch in the bottom.
I tried the jeans on because I wanted to cuff them and see what they looked like on me, and they didn't look that great. They were really baggy.
Well,
I'm smaller
you're
than
quite
you.
a bit smaller than me. I don't remember you trying. Did you?
You don't remember?
No.
I put them on and they were really baggy in the crotch
Oh
area.
yeah, because you
And
right, because you're so much smaller than me in like the waist area.
right. And I like assumed that I'm just exactly the same size as you.
Right. I mean, like, well, like I can squeeze myself into your pants, but that's because you wear stretchy pants.
Right. That sounds bad.
It,
Stretchy pants.
well, like most women's jeans are like super stretchy.
You're right. It's weird. It should even be considered jeans.
They're like paper thin and super stretchy.
Mm-hmm. Like
Um,
leggings.
Yeah. So yeah, so these pants that they're really comfortable. I don't really have any complaints about them. The only advantage my Dainese pants have over them is they have cargo pockets, which makes it
Is
easier for me to put my cell phone
your
in them.
stuff in?
Yeah.
Do they make women's in that same?
Revit does not make any women's jeans. At least they don't. I looked the other day online. There's no women's jeans that I saw. There's some really good women's pant options,
But not jeans.
but not if you want a jean look-alike.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would love to have multiple pairs of jean pants.
Right. Because you have those built ironworker pants
Right.
from Cycle Gear,
Uh-huh.
and the knee pads were all wrong.
Yeah, they were awful.
I want to try the Revit knee pads in there just
Inside
to
of
see
them,
how
yeah.
they line up with your knees, like if that's better. It may or may not be. The knees might just not be in the right place for your legs.
True.
Because like the pants you bought weren't waist number leg length.
No.
Like men's pants, and the Revit ones are. They're like, I wear a 30-34, so I ordered a 30-34 and they fit.
Right. I wish that women's clothing people would get on that train.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Just order your clothes by your measurements, and then
and it would work.
Instead of these are a size 6,
but they fit like a size 0.
They fit like a 0, and they're made for somebody who's between 5'2" and 5'2.5".
Except no, pants are really made for 5'2".
No, it's more like 5'7" and 5'10" and 3/4.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean you're 5'1", so all your
Very
pants
frustrating.
are too short or too long. I mean, all your legs are too short.
My legs are too short for all my pants.
Yeah. And then the jacket, I've complained about the jacket a little bit. I bought the jacket the same way with the discount. It's a $500 jacket normally. I paid around $250, a little more than that, but not much. And I remember, I think I've said on the podcast that I'm not sure if I would buy it for $500.
What do you think now? Is it worth that much money to you now?
Probably. It's getting to be a tougher and tougher call whether or not. It used to be no. Now it's like, I don't know, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it has to do with just the weather here. My other leather jacket is perforated, and I don't want to wear it in the morning if it's 60 degrees in the morning. I don't really want to wear it.
Right.
Even though I can, I'm not.
But then it's like 80 degrees when you're coming home in the afternoon.
Yeah, and I've ridden the past few weeks alternating between jackets too. So I'd go to work as like all Dainese stuff, and then I go to work as all Revit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've interchanged too. But I've gotten a few compliments on the Revit jacket from different people, and some of them aren't even motorcyclists. They're like, "Oh, that jacket looks really nice." It's kind of creaky still. Like when I'm taking my backpack off, it's like it's making all these squeaky noises. But as it breaks in, and this isn't exactly like, this is common sense. It's not like, oh my gosh, it breaks in and gets more comfortable, but it does.
Thing.
Right. And my other jacket, the Dainese one, did the same thing. It was pretty stiff and didn't feel the best when I first bought it, and now I love it. I don't think that I still wish I had the Dainese one not perforated, and then I wouldn't want the Revit one.
Mm-hmm.
But in the absence of the Dainese jacket, which they don't make anymore, the Revit's not bad. It's when it was chilly outside, the open sleeve bothered me. Now that it's not, it's fine. I love it.
But it's gonna get chilly
It's going to get chilly
again.
again. And that's why motorcyclists need like many sets of gear. You can't, it's really hard
Right.
to get away unless you want to wear like a big touring suit that has, zip in liners and stuff like that. It's really hard to wear something that is, if you're trying to wear the cafe racer costume,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to do that and be comfortable year round. It's very difficult because that sort of aesthetic doesn't lend itself to versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the perforated jacket's great when it's hot. It's very subdued. It looks good on the bike. The Revit jacket is great when it's middle,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's cold, you're just cold. There really isn't, to my knowledge. I mean, I guess you could go with like somebody that makes like a bomber jacket that has like the lambs, the shearling,
Uh-huh.
dealio going
Yeah.
on.
Have you ever
Um,
had one?
Not a motorcycle jacket. I had a sweatshirt that had that in it. It was really nice.
Oh.
I never wore it on the bike really, but because it was a sweatshirt. But
Yeah.
the Revit actually makes a jacket now that's like 3/4 length. It's a textile jacket that has the the sheepskin ish thing around the collar, like at the collar and everything. It looks nice,
Mm-hmm.
and it uses that same armor that the pants I have on, so you can't even see the armors in it. They also make a jacket that's more like a baseball jacket, so it has like the elastic sleeve cuffs and the little like mandarin collar
Oh wait,
with the
didn't you show
elastic.
me that
I
one?
did, and we almost got that.
Yeah, that one was cute.
It's really nice. It's the same kind of Cordura denim that my pants are,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really want to wear a redneck tuxedo. The jean jacket
Why
and the jean
not?
pants. So I would wear that with my cotton Dainese pants and feel like I didn't
Feel
look
like
awful.
you're okay.
Especially if there were two different colors of denim, that would just bother
Oh,
me.
that would be, yeah.
I don't think I could leave the house and feel good about
No,
myself.
you probably wouldn't.
I'm way too metro for that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'll write up some reviews and take pictures of both the jacket and the pants. The cool thing about the pants, to get back on the pants, they have hip protector pockets, which are nice because Revit makes a pair of hip armor pads that are the same as the knee armor, so they're nice and thin and flexible, and they have the pockets built into into those pants, so you can put them in. I bet that they would greatly increase how like tight the pants feel around my hips. Like I feel like I'm kind of right at the limit there. I wouldn't want to put them in there without like going up a size in the waist or something. But they're there if I wanted them, or if I
Mm-hmm.
was, if my butt was small enough to fit them. I had the same problem with Revit is definitely like the European cut, so they're squarely aimed at the more svelte motorcycle rider. Like Steve and I have talked.
You can't
Revit
wear
doesn't make
any of
anything that
it.
fits him.
Yeah. Isn't
Um,
Dainese like that too, though?
Dainese is a little bit like that for sure. Like their jackets, it depends on the jacket. I think I Revit, I'm sure varies from jacket to jacket
Mm-hmm.
too, but they're right. Revit and Dainese are both European companies making products for people shaped more like that.
That, yeah.
And if you're thin, they work out pretty well. If you're, more, even if you're not like fat, if you're just a bigger person, like if you're, you work out a lot and you got like I don't know if like Chuck goes to the gym like every 10 minutes, and he probably can't wear Dainese or Revit gear either. I don't know. I know that he wears Aerostitch gear, which is known to be cut for like broad Midwestern people. So,
Ah, okay.
um, and he's like half Japanese or something. So he should be genetically like
Small.
little, or at least half of him should be little because he's only half Japanese. um, but yeah, Steve really likes Olympia and some of the other companies that make, there's definitely companies that skew uh, more American in terms of overall physique. And I love how much motorcycle gear is out there. Like, if you can find a company that pretty much caters to you and your shape, which is really nice.
Yeah, for men.
There's a lot out there for women. I know that there's a lot less.
There's a lot less.
There is a lot less out there for women, but there's definitely more than there used to be,
Of course.
which is good.
It's still not equal.
No,
No,
as you stated earlier, it's kind of a man's world,
it is.
and that it is. I can't help it that I'm a dude.
No, and no,
not my
I don't.
fault.
It's not your fault. But I wish there was more.
Yeah.
I wish there was more options, more to choose from, more to shop, more to have.
I wish there were more places in San Diego that just had like a wealth of motorcycle gear.
Yeah, there's really not that here.
Right. Not that I've ever run into. If anybody knows of a place, I know that South Bay Motorsports has a pretty decent selection of motorcycle gear, but they also sell almost every motorcycle brand I could think of off the top of my head. So they're a big dealership, and their floor space is dominated by motorcycles. But there's some places that just sell gear. Like there's the Dainese store up in LA that sells Dainese gear. There's Beach Moto, I've heard a bunch about from like Joanne Don, the gear chick. She's told me I should go there, and one of these days I actually will. And they sell just gear. I wish there was a place in San Diego that did that. But if anybody knows of a place in San Diego, that'd be great to hear about. Speaking of like women riders, we got an email, like, I don't know, maybe a couple hours before we started recording, actually, that it's from a professor who is the associate chair of consumer arts and sciences at Houston Community College, Miss Shasta Swift. She's a new rider. She said she spent a year on the back of her future husband's BMW and got her license about 4 months ago. And then she's been shopping around for a new bike, and she got this ad, like a promotional ad from a motorcycle dealer, and it's for a bikini bike wash, which, as a well-educated progressive woman with daughters who wants to promote riding, she's a little bothered by. She's not too keen on the bikini bike wash idea. And she asked, she's like, are these kind of things only happening in Texas? And I know they're not. I
No, they're not.
promise they're not.
It's everywhere.
I'm not like, I kind of, I would roll my eyes at the ad if I got it. I wouldn't be. I can understand why somebody would be offended. It's not the kind of thing that I would be offended about personally, but I would be like, oh gosh, why? And we talked about how, like, if I ended up at one of these things, I'd really just be concerned with the cleanliness of my bike. Not like I don't think they would do a very good job, because they'd be too busy trying to be pretty.
Right.
And trying to like be in their bikini and get a good tip that way. And I'm like, I just clean my motorcycle.
You can't mess up your makeup with the water and get water in your hair. You just can't.
I highly doubt any of these women are wearing all that much makeup.
Really?
Or they're wearing way too much makeup, and a little water might help things out. The ad, though, kind of brought up a topic. It's a picture of a woman and a Ducati Panigale, which I don't know if the dealers have permission to use these photos in like ads. They may. It's a Ducati dealership, but there was a photo series a few years ago of this Ducati Panigale and women posing in like this one. She's in like little hot pants and a motorcycle jacket and red heels, like kind of like laying her face on the fairing and like kissing it looks like. But to kind of make fun of that, right after the ads came out, if you guys aren't familiar with Moto Lady, She's themotolady.com. Her name's Alicia. She takes professional photos as well, and so she got a hold of a identical red Ducati Panigale and had a bunch of dudes dress up in like the exact same stuff and try and recreate all the poses. And it's called the Manigale photo shoot. So we'll have links to that in the show notes. They're pretty funny, you know.
Yeah, they're
like
good.
there's even the exact same picture where the girl is like kissing the front of the motorcycle of this kind of skinny dude with like, you know, like a trendy haircut, and he's in these tiny little shorts, bent over, kissing this motorcycle. And there's another one. There's another guy that's like a pretty muscly dude, like laying on the tank, you know, and they look totally serious. Like the guys are not laughing in any of these pictures.
Yeah, no,
They're
it's
not.
it's a good recreation.
It really is. And if you haven't seen it, it made its way around the internet a few years ago, and it's definitely worth checking out. And sort of like it's a nice way to poke fun. It's sort of a Mel Brooks way to poke fun at this kind of like over sexualized motorcycle thing. Like I just ride my motorcycle. I don't want a motorcycle to like attract the opposite sex or
People
whatever.
do that with cars too.
They do.
People do that with so many different types of things, and it's prevalent.
Yeah, it is. You mentioned the cars. I have a friend up in Washington who he takes pictures. He does wedding photography and stuff like that. And he went to a car show one day and he had his camera because he wanted to take pictures. He's got this big professional camera, and there was this woman there, like in a little tiny bikini, just spilling out of it everywhere. And she was like, "Oh, you must be the photographer." And he goes, "Sure." And so she's like all over this car, posing on it for this thing, and he takes all these pictures and walks away. And like she's like, "Okay, cool," and leaves. And he was like, somebody was like, "Oh, cool, did you get hired to do that?" He's like, "I have no idea who that was." She just assumed I was a photographer, and I was like, "Screw it," and took a bunch of pictures.
That's hilarious.
Like, but yeah, it's totally a thing though. But yeah, really, like if you guys want to, you know, follow somebody who promotes women motorcycling in like a good way, follow Moto Lady on Instagram or Facebook, or just go to themotolady.com. She's got a really cool Ducati Monster that she did almost all the work on herself. She's always, you know, got, you know, she's got lots of cool pictures and blog post stuff about motorcycling. You can also listen to the Motorific podcast. It's just like MOT, like terrific. It's called Motorific. It's done by Joanne Dawn, the gear chick, and Christy Farrell, who's a friend of mine. It's a pretty good show. You know, they talk to each other about motorcycling stuff. Yeah. And then I guess the only other thing we have to talk about is this helmet. Last episode, I talked about 2 helmets that I got from Nex, or that Steve got from Nex and then sent to me. And I said we were going to give away one of them, and that's why I didn't want to do anything to make it fit my head. So we're going to go over how that's going to work. It's a pearly white and brown leather Nex SX60. So they call it an open face helmet. It's kind of like a 2/3 helmet, like a 3/4 helmet comes all the way down sort of to the bottom of your chin. You know, it's like a full face helmet without the chin bar. This doesn't quite come down that far. It looks really nice. I mean, what do you think of it?
It looks really, really great. The white is pretty. The leather is put well on it. It's interesting and different and clean. Nice looking.
Yeah, it's not too busy. It looks really good. If it fit you,
I want it.
We probably wouldn't be giving it away.
Nope, it'd be mine.
But it doesn't. It's way too big. So
I have a small head.
Yeah. So if you would like to have a chance to win this thing, follow us on Instagram
I
at.
should put it on my head though, huh?
Okay, you can go for it.
Okay.
So yeah, follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram at Cafe Racer Podcast, and you have to follow us on Instagram. We're gonna have a post of a picture of the helmet. It might even just be Jess in the helmet.
Ooh.
We'll have a picture.
I wish it fit me.
Yeah, we'll have a picture of the helmet. So follow us on Instagram and then post a comment tagging somebody else, and that's the criteria. In a couple weeks, we will choose a winner and announce it on the next show.
I want one of these in my size.
It's
What size is this?
that's an extra large.
What size do I need?
Probably
Extra
a small.
small.
Probably a small. But yeah, so we are on Instagram at Cafe Racer Podcast.
We'll have to
So,
get the picture up soon. This is cute.
yeah, we'll take the picture up and put it up probably before this show actually hits the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad you like it. It is really nice. If, like I said, if like I could make it fit me if I wanted to, but we want to give it away, so I don't want to ruin somebody else's helmet. It's got an integrated little drop down sun visor, and I think the way that the actual face, the visor, the face shield attaches is really nice looking. It's a
You're talking about this?
Yeah, I mean just the little arms, the little brown arms that hold the face shield on look really nice. The shape of the face shield isn't just a boring like kind of rectangular thing. It's got like a nice curve to it. It looks really good on you. I think it probably looks better on you than it does on me because it doesn't fit on my head all the way.
Right, it goes like to your cheekbones.
Yeah, when I put it on, it just gets stuck like on the top of my head,
Yeah.
and so it sits up really
So
high.
this
And
is like
looks
actually sitting on my
stupid.
head.
Yeah, that's aside from the fact that it's way too big, I could stick my fingers up in there, but like in the space where your head should be taking up that room.
All this.
Yeah, but it does sit down on your head like it's supposed to, and it looks really cute. So
we can
if
buy
anybody's
one.
got a lady with a big head, or if you can actually fit in it, it would look fine on a guy.
We could also do a trade, people. I want a small.
I want a small. So yeah, that's it. It's a Nex SX60 in white and brown. They retail for $189 on Amazon. So yeah, if you're looking to get a new lid that looks pretty cool and pretty much guaranteed that none of your friends are going to have a helmet that looks like this, I would say it's a good buy or a good chance to win one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, the Cafe Racer Podcast on Instagram. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Was there anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So that's going to wrap it up. Probably a little bit shorter episode than usual, but we were going to try to hook up with Steve, get him on the show, but things have they're on a very important trip.
He got too busy riding his motorcycle.
I know. Jeez. Who does that? Anyway, so you can follow us on Twitter at Cafe Racer Pod. Everywhere else, it's just Cafe Racer Podcast, so Facebook and Instagram. The website is caferacerpodcast.com. I'd like to thank everybody that supports us on Patreon. If you'd like to become a supporter on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com and search for either my name, Chris Ashmore. You can search for the show's name. Either one of those will work. And I actually found the stickers. So, all our life is in boxes right now. I found the stickers. So I have a sticker pack that I need to get sent out.
Oh, we haven't done that.
No, I actually have 2 sticker packs I need to get sent out, but at least I found them, which is way better than
not knowing where they are.
Yeah, than them being stuck in boxes for another month. So if you recently pledged at that level, then know that that's coming. Once Steve gets back from the trip, we're going to finish getting shirts figured out and probably figure something out for all the Patreon supporters where we make a new level or something. There's more to come there.
Mm-hmm.
So having said all that,
if you want a t-shirt, we'll have a white t-shirt contest.
A white t-shirt contest?
To win it.
A wet t-shirt contest?
White t-shirt contest.
My wife, everyone. It's a man's world, apparently. She's the one that said that earlier. I just want
They did.
to. You did.
Doesn't have to be women wearing the white t-shirts.
Direct your complaints to Jessica at caferacerpodcast.com.
I will reply.
She probably will. Yeah. A wet t-shirt contest. That would be really funny if it was like dudes only.
It
like
would
if you were
be.
a woman entering, you had to get a dude in a wet white t-shirt
Uh-huh.
to send in a picture.
Yep.
Maybe we should do that.
It's creative. It's creative as fuck.
I generally try not to say that on the show, but every now and then. Anyway, get out and ride. Seriously.